just a free throw. I got the game scoring.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Hebrews and Shebrews, we are the Isupk. This is the Lost Tribes. I am Dawada, Officer 500, here to tell you the truth. According to the Bible, the black Jews are God's chosen people. My narration describes a young boy that was pushed aside, and all he ever wanted was a little piece of the pie. But all he ever got was hate, hurt, being deprived, cause of a system not designed with his kind in mind. But in time you soon find why his friends are his foes, why his brothers in jail, why his sisters his hoes, why Papa never was around to teach him stuff he should know, the type of stuff to keep his kids from being gangsters and hoes. But see, for Pop, shit, it was no different. Raised without a father or a pot to go pissing, not even a mother. He was raised by his brother. This was around the same time we was hung for being colored. Meanwhile, mama out here working OT. It's the only way she knew her little boy was gonna eat. It was hard in the city, so she moved down south. A few years after that, her little boy moved out.
Our narration describes the lives of the lost tribes in the ghetto trying to survive, working 9 to 5 to provide, swallowing their pride, things we gotta do to stay alive. And still we rise. Our narration describes the lives of the lost tribes in the ghetto trying to survive, working 9 to 5 to provide, swallowing their pride, things we gotta do to stay alive. And still we rise. All religions aside, we was designed, divinely inclined, but what's inside don't fit the black image in white minds. Now let's rewind time and we'll find that nature knows no color line. Way before white Jesus had all people colorblind. We reside somewhere in the midst of ancient Palestine, line unified with the power of Zion. No cowards because the righteous are as bold as a lion. Iron sharpens iron, had it disappear like the mines, cause we're rebellion, stubborn, stiff-necked, simple, defiant. We would worship other gods like the stars of Orion. Stepped away from laws of life, that's why our people are dying. Go to sleep till the sirens wake up, to mothers crying, outlined and prophesied as a biblical sign throughout all lifetime, upon all bloodline. Deuteronomy 28, tell me I'm lying. Back to Egypt on ships chained with yokes of iron. Describes the lives of the lost tribes in the ghetto trying to survive, working 9 to 5 to provide, swallowing their pride, things we gotta do to stay alive. And still we rise. Our narration describes the lives of the lost tribes in the ghetto trying to survive, working 9 to 5 to provide, swallowing their pride, things we gotta do to stay alive.
Still blessed,
and still we rise.
Yo, see, I was born inside of darkness, now I glitter in gold. You know about me even if my story didn't get told. I'm literally flow, thoughts form quicker than most. I'm an original, not another digital hoax. Love is pitiful because the pit is full, I suppose. The crabs beneath me are only about an inch on my toes. I ain't mad at you, Machiavelli lived through these flows. Mistaken for a weed and concrete, still I rose. Life's a movie with the wrong narration. The picture that been painted ain't describing our lives. Found out my enemy was the entire nation. The tribe was lost until we found the lost tribes. From 9 to 5 working to 5 to 9 twerking. Brothers and sisters killing themselves to survive. You already swallowed the wrong pill in the matrix. The only way to escape it now is swallow your pride.
any to disintegrate us. Death to all you Jimmy Bakers for black voters. Now hold them in them black coffins. Crimes take your crimes, ready to make wars, so you hoes just gon' have to lay them down.
You ain't bigger than me, ain't God, ain't Christ, no father figure to me. You just another nigga to me. We breathe the same air, fuck if you richer than me. Ain't never been iller than me. I got bodies on the track, you ain't no killer to me. You just another nigga to me. We both gon' die one day, you ain't no different than me. 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 Ain't God, ain't Christ, no father figure to me. You ain't no different than me. You ain't no different than me. You ain't no different than me. We both gon' die one day. You ain't no different than me.
Cops killing niggas, man. Word up, man. Voting ain't gonna help us, man. Marching ain't gonna help us, man. Protesting ain't gonna help us, man.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead, success ain't looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee, and I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on
Man, this shit
me.
ain't no joke, man. This shit ain't no joke. Like the boy cry. Wolf, I ain't blowing no smoke. You don't gotta look far to see it. Ain't no hope in this fucked up world. I'm just trying to stay afloat. I grew up in the ghetto in the middle of the streets. Hell, the belly of the beast. Thanksgiving came around, I wasn't having no feast. When the landlord talking about breaking our lease. Goddamn, what's next? My girl broke it with your boy, and she did it in a text that if I couldn't have nothing, that I could have love besides love for the money and selling these drugs. Sometimes it seems like it's the only way out, but every day I'm getting older and it's getting played out. Can't end up in the pen trying to find a way out. Lord, forgive me for my sins, when my heart gave out. My dad died, biggest loss I ever had to take. He a big part of the reason I'm the man I am today. And moving on was a move I wasn't trying to make, but I got sons now, so I gotta lead them not astray. And even though success is looking unlikely, I stay mighty and pray nightly and remain doing the right thing like Spike Lee, which is hard in this life for a nigga like me. All my life I had to fight like my name's Sophia. Always had heart and in my heart was no fear. Boy, I stayed in some trouble always stayed near. When you black in America, that's all you cold here, I can't lie. Some days I wanna break down and cry for me and my people that's fighting to stay alive. Cause living ain't living when you living to survive. Guess we living in hell till the heavens arrive. Now I mean,
What it's like for a nigga like me.
like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead, success ain't looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee, and I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. What it's like in this life for a nigga like me. Every day I gotta fight my demons. Wake up, thank God I'm breathing. Cause all nightmares, America's dreaming. Trying to find a way to make it while surrounded by heathens. No stress long as I got a coat and I'm eating. I'm blessed and I know the most high's the reason. But my heart's bleeding through my sleeve is seeping. For all the things that I've been peeping. Type of shit make you say fuck it and sleeping. Cause while you was sleeping during the evening, for brothers got gunned down over the weekend. Stretched out in the streets left leaking. Laid out white sheet, mom's grieving. All lives gotta have more meaning than another nigga dead in the paper I'm reading. Baby mama bitching every time that you're speaking. Talking like she gonna take the kids as she's leaving. How we go from kids to ending up in the deep end. Sink or swim, lose or win, saint or sin. Where does the change begin? And when does the bullshit end? Cause I wake up in the morning, gotta do it again. Go to sleep, go to work and just do it again. Damn. Can't pretend, cause when you stand out, it's hard to blend. And what I stand for, don't fold the bend. Cause I heard real folks don't got too many friends. Cause when you speak the truth, then you tend to offend. So while I'm gripping his pen. Lord, please have mercy on me. Amen.
It's time for my people to come together and rise up. The only way we gonna take our royalty back, man, is if we do just that, man. Take it back. Kwame Yashala, nigga. Time for us to rise out of our oppression. A wise man told me each one teach one. So I need you to reach out to your brothers and sisters and teach them, man. There's no reason we should still be getting hung from trees in this day and age, man. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Yeah. Hey yo, my regiment is wake up in the morning, pissing excellence. Think you fucking with me, then you must be on that mescaline. Every track is evidence, it's evident. All these rappers are relevant. Kill them all and never show no sentiment. Me to touch the microphone for pro bono, show me the Benjamins. Only politicians that useless a dead president. Cash rules everything around me, get the Entenmann's. And I'm charging you double if you're an Eminem or Kevin Federline. It's for my son's benefit, so every track is eminent. Bear witness to this testament. Round here, I'm working harder than a bunch of Mexicans. First mixtape and I'm sounding like a veteran. Leave them feeling like they were drawn straight off of heroin. Greatest of all time, there ain't many that's better than. We won't lie, them kids from the Lost Tribe. Dawodan Katazai, reppin' for the most high.
I do bomb atomically, rap's anomaly. I'm a prodigy of prophecies, theories and philosophies. I gotta be the only man alive with these qualities. And I don't wanna brag, I want my people out of poverty. So burn down Sodom and all its wicked societies. And free us from the white man's democracies and policies. Economies and colonies, monopolies, apologies. Fuck it. Free from the white man entirely. I'm diabolical from my follicles to my molecules. Unstoppable. Got all my enemies in my optical. Methodical. The way I'm eliminating these obstacles. This is what I gotta do. Never has it been optional. My words are a weapon. You other rappers is kinda hype. But I'm the type to grab the mic and turn it into dynamite. And smite any rapper that be biting like a parasite. If I don't get you now, then I visit you in the afterlife. Shut the fuck up.
Come on a little louder.
Just shut the fuck up.
Everybody in together now.
Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Man, shut the fuck up.
What's that? I didn't hear you.
Just shut the fuck up.
Come on a little louder.
Shut the fuck up.
Everybody in together now.
Just shut the fuck up. Man, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up.
Traitors. Them fucking traitors.
Here we go. I think we got sound now. If we got sound, if you can hear me, I'm just having a problem with the sound. So if you can hear me, go ahead and put a 1 inside the chat area. If you can hear me now, just type a 1 inside of the chat area. And that way, we'll get on with the class. Because I think I got it settled. All right. We are the Isupk. We are the Isupk. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And we've been bringing forth the truth into this nation, into spiritual Sodom since 1969 under Commandant General Yohanan. And that truth is that blacks, Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans are the lost children of Israel. You are the Israelites. You are the people who Moses went down into Egypt and told Pharaoh, let my people go. You are the Israelites that are talked about in the Bible. That's so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Indians. Tonight, this is the Monday night history class from the Isupk. And we want to make this very clear. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group in the world. Not just in America, in the world. You find another Israelite group in Australia, that's not us. Over in England, that's not us. Down in Jamaica, that's not us. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohanan. And we are affiliated with no other group. And we are here to let you know there is one Spirit, there is only one truth, there is only one Lord. Every other group out there that call themselves Israelites ought to come on home to the Isupk, because all of them spun off from us. It's now it's time for them to get their discipline together and be disciplined and come back to the Isupk. Other than that, you stand in jeopardy of the judgment. The history class of the Isupk. I'm Officer Mashab, Officer of 1,000, and I got one goal. In accepting this class, I got one goal, and that is to get you to realize and to understand and to trust in history, beginning with the Bible, and then see how it all fit together, so that you know you are not an African American, you are not a Latino American, and you're not a Native American. You are Israelites, and it's in the history books. The history we talk about, you can find it everywhere. We're going to start with a scripture. So like we're going to start with a scripture. Here we go. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. This is so important. This is such an important scripture. Because it'll stop you from feeling isolated It'll stop you from feeling brand new. It'll stop you from thinking you can come up on something new. Something new. And there's nothing you can do about it. You got to create your own way. The scripture don't say that. I know it's a lot of brothers and sisters out there. They hear this, they hear that, and they try to put everything together. And they think they got to come up with something just totally brand new. I remember a couple of years back, I was feeling that exact same way before I got to the truth. Oh, I got to get out here. I even found me some broadcasting software, and the wife that told me I got to get out if I came into the truth. I was sitting up in an empty room in the house she's still living in right now. And I would call myself putting together sermons, I big time pushing sermons, and all of that. But I found out here under these brothers that's over me that I didn't know anything. And even when it came down to history, I didn't know anything. But then as I studied and obeyed and brought myself under discipline to learn from my Alawanians, I found this scripture right here to be true. So read with me, Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that hath been, you know what that is? That's something that's in the past. The thing that hath been, the Civil War, it hath been. We already had the Civil War. The thing that hath been, or the thing that's been in the past. It is that which shall be. If you've seen it in the past, you're going to see it again. All you have to do is live on this earth long enough, you're going to see it again. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And that which is done. When you see these brothers running around, you see my brothers running around out here holding camp on these street corners, prophesying to the wind, and you got all those ugly things to say to us. Understand, you ain't seen the last of us. It's going to be a long time before you see the last of us. Now, if you want to make it shorter, come on into this truth. Get into class. You brothers put on all black. Sisters, cover your head up and begin to obey your husbands. The thing that hath been, the thing that is, that you see going on right now, guess what? It's what you shall see in the future. It's going to be the same thing done. There was prophets before us. You heard of them. Ezekiel, Jeremiah, you heard of them. Job, David, Solomon, Paul, Matthew, John, Peter. You heard of them. There was prophets before us. And the same thing we were doing is the same that we are doing is the same thing that Paul was doing. It's the same thing that Peter was doing. It's the same thing that Amos was doing, that Obadiah was doing, that Jeremiah was doing, that Ezekiel was doing. What you see on the streets of Detroit, in all your major cities in the United States, in New York, in Chicago, in Philly, what you see in California, what you see in Atlanta, what you see down in Dallas and Houston, what you see going on with these brothers coming out here in their garments, standing on these street corners, got their covers on to say Isupk. They're putting out that sign and letting you see that imposter, Cesare Borgia. that you see that imposter who they call Jesus. This is nothing new. According to the Bible, this is nothing new. And this is our history class. And I want to hit it with a broad shot tonight because I want to get you to understand. As the Bible says, there's nothing new. I want to finish reading the scripture. Let me finish reading the scripture. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. None of it. It ain't new. You ain't new. You was here before, and you're here now. There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. Why is that important? Well, one of the things we want to deal with today in this class is let's look at the topic of brothers and sisters being shot down in the streets, especially here in the streets of Detroit. You know what? It's kind of spooky because it's gotten quiet. I'm sure it's happening. They might be keeping it out the news. But you know, the police hunt us, black men, black women, like like we're in season. They hunt us like we're in season. Like, you know, there's a season to hunt niggas. You know, you got deer season, and then fishing, you got bass season, you got trout season, you got salmon season, pike season, grouse season, deer season, and damn it, in America, you got nigger season. You see, sometime, I think in early November, late October, deer season open. You got the bow season and the gun season. But just like our oppressor go out here and hunt animals, he hunt us. In fact, he hunt our very, very footsteps. And you know what? Let's see what the Bible got to say about that. So just in case you think the Isupk don't know what we're talking about, we believe in doing exactly what the Bible says. Let's go to Lamentations 4. I want to say verse 18. I might go up a little higher. Let me take a look. I said that they hunt us, they hunt our very footsteps. You know, 85% of our households are headed by single mothers. And when those mothers' sons get up and the sun go down, they get up and they walk out their houses, you know the mothers go to shaking with worry. And if they don't go to shaking, they still full of worry because they know this to be true, whether they be in the truth or not. But that's why we're dealing with this. See, I need to talk to folk that they ain't in the truth, so that they can come over here and get in the truth. You see, find your class here in Detroit, 12355 Gratiot, Isupk Detroit. That's where our school is. And if you want to know where the school is at in your city, all you got to do is look up Isupk, your city, in Google. And it will show you where your school is. But let's read the scripture right here. Lamentations 4, verse 18. We're going to start at verse 17. As for us, our eyes yet failed, for our vain help in our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Ecclesiastes 4:17. That's what we're in the process of doing right now. That's why millions upon millions of so-called niggas, so-called African Americans, just finished last week celebrating this heinous thing called Thanksgiving. And I know if you're a Christian and you're listening and you just heard that, you probably want to tune out, but hold on. Don't tune out yet. Don't tune out yet, Mr. Christian or Miss Christian. We tell you that this is a Thanksgiving is heinous because of its history. Give you a few things to look up. The Trail of Tears. The Trail of Tears. This is where the Cherokee nations and whatever other nations are still here in the Midwest, where the government of the United States put them on a track towards a reservation out west some damn way. And it was such a treacherous road that the people had to slow down sometimes to take care of the children. And if a mother in the process of breastfeeding the baby had to slow down the baby, the military took the baby and dashed that baby's head or smashed that baby's head against a rock. Now watch this. All America knows about something called the Bataan Death March that happened in the Philippines during World War II, where military men who were fighting in the war, who knew that their job was to kill or be killed, got put on, they got captured by the Japanese, and they was marched from one place of the island to another place, and they called it the Bataan Death March because so many people died. And they remember that. They got ceremonies in the military. I'm sure there's something going on down in the Philippines, but they got all types of ceremonies to remember, and they got awards. I even, if I put on a military uniform, I have a pin that I put on, a award I put on, because I was a unit in that unit that went through the Bataan Death March. That's how important it is for America to remember what her people went through. But what about you, Israel? What about you? Would you rather remember with a good feeling that the cruelty and the war crimes committed against your own people? That's what Thanksgiving is all about. That's about this nation celebrating the war crimes and the annihilation that they committed against our people, against our brothers and sisters. 77 million Native Americans are now buried in the ground, in this blood-stained ground, because the oppressor showed up from Europe. Because the oppressor showed up on this land. The first Thanksgiving was even celebrated because they went out and killed 700 men, women, and children, old men, women, and children, in their village. They came back and they celebrated and gave thanks for being able to kill them. And that went on for years and years. In fact, in America, there used to be so many different days of Thanksgiving that they were forced. Don't think Lincoln did it on purpose. They were forced to pick one day out the year to call Thanksgiving. And that's where that comes from. But they hunt our steps. They hunt our steps. We know that, and we know they used to hunt our steps, right? And when I say that, I'm talking about historically. I'm talking about the Jim Crow laws. I'm talking about Reconstruction, when if you was walking down the street and a white person came on the same sidewalk, you either had to step out in the street or across the street. You couldn't walk, and you know you bet not, look at a white woman. You bet not whistle at a white woman. Ask Emmett Till. Ask Emmett Till's mama and relative, 14-year-old boy allegedly whistles at a white woman down south, and they beat him till he's unrecognizable. And they beat him to death. Emmett Till. Look that up. Look that up. They hunt us. They hunt our footsteps. Just like we animals. That's Lamentation 4:18. So, this ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new. That our footsteps get hunted. You go in the Bible and you see the Assyrian captivity. You see the Babylonian captivity. You see what we was under Greek and Roman rule. We was always oppressed. Let's not get it wrong. As if we are totally clean in this matter. If our fathers that simply obey the laws and statutes of the Most High, we will be on top right now today. But we didn't. And so when you look on the news, you hear about another black man being killed by a policeman who receives no negative consequence. You look on the news and you hear about, I think her name is Sandra Bland, inside the Texas jail, that just came up dead. Alton Sterling, in the car with his wife and his child, and the police shoots him to death in front of his 4-year-old daughter, even though he posed no threat. And the list goes on and on. We can go all the way back, but we can just keep going back. They've been killing us since we've been in this hemisphere, whether it was by the blankets infected with smallpox that the oppressor gave to the native Indians, or whether because they turned us into strange fruit hanging from poplar trees in the deep and mossy South. We have always been oppressed. We have always been hunted in this country. I want to bring up something that maybe you've seen and maybe you haven't seen. But we got a tendency to talk about something called the good old days. And I know I got a little gray hair. Yes, I got grandchildren and in a position where I can have great-grandchildren. And I know there's going to be some old people, gray-haired people, that get upset with me about bringing this out. For us, for the so-called African American, for the so-called Native Indian, for the so-called Latino, Mexican. There has never been the good old days under American rule. There has never been the good old days under American rule. There's a brief period that we often talk about. It's called the 70s. And when you hear the Isupk talk about that, a lot of times we're talking about what went on in the family and how the black man was expelled from the house. The strong man, that's how the strong man got by. The Bible said you can't rob a strong man's house unless you first bind the strong man. How they bound the strong man is they removed him from the black family, period. Just took him out the house. Dared the mother to even have shoes in the house or clothes in the house that showed the man might have been there. And they would cut off her assistance. But we want to go back to that same time period to look at something else. What I'm going to do is I want to bring you something out of Wikipedia. Now you would think Wikipedia only brings up stuff that is most popular. And the reason you say that is because what? Wikipedia get the information from millions of different people who are experts on subjects, and then they make their contribution to Wikipedia. And you can see how a lot of their things are written that is quite intelligent. So it's not just bums, and I'm not pumping up Wikipedia, but I'm just letting you know, you would think, since that many people's involved, that things affecting black people wouldn't normally show up over there. And when you see something that shows up in Wikipedia that tells the truth of what's going on with black folk, I suggest you pay attention. Now what I want to do is show you this right here. In relationship to all this killing going on in Detroit, New York, Chicago, LA, Oakland, Texas, wherever police are killing us, I want you to know that it is not new. And there was never, ever a hiatus of killing niggas. Never, ever a hiatus of killing niggas. Now, you know in the 60s, right? They killed a number of niggas. And nigga sympathizers. That's what they call Kennedy and them nigga sympathizers. They killed a number of us. They killed Malcolm. They killed Martin. Well, Orgy Mike. They killed Medgar Evers. 60s. Prior to that, they killed Emmett Till. They also killed Fred Hampton. The list goes on and on and on and on. And when we say they, look up this term, COINTEL, Intel, I-N-T-E-L dash pro, P-R-O, COINTELPRO. What COINTELPRO was the FBI's program of counter-espionage leveled against black groups in America. That's how they got to the Black Panthers, COINTELPRO. That's how they was able to set up Malcolm and Martin. And they should have got O.J. Mike, because he was wrong. He was wrong. Martin was wrong as hell, telling us to integrate with the white man. When the Most High tells us never ever trust your enemy. He told us don't make marriages with them, don't marry them, leave them folk alone, let them do what they do. But we couldn't do that. We want to be like white. That's what you wanted to do. Even today, one of the biggest, craziest things you see is folks, black folk who want to be white. Can't stand being black. Can't stand being black. But let's take a look at this article. This is coming from Wikipedia. And I found this the first time. I remember it firsthand. But there used to be a police unit in Detroit. Watch this. It's called Stress. The Stress Police Unit. Now, I'm about to get close to my computer. I want to read this out loud too. See what we got here. Stress, an acronym for Stop the Robberies, Enjoy Safe Streets. That's what it stands for. Stop the Robberies, Enjoy Safe Streets. Was created to reduce crime in Detroit. This is Wikipedia. Now, Wikipedia ain't got no business having this much information, this detailed information on what a lot of us are not old enough to remember. A police unit called Stress, S-T-R-E-S-S. The acronym means Stop the Robberies, Enjoy Safe Streets. It was created to reduce crime in Detroit. It used, watch this, decoy units targeting African American men. It led to the deaths of 24 men, 22 of them African American, over the course of 3.5 years. We used to call them jump outs. This idea of the police killing niggas willy-nilly is as old as time. It's older than the Crusades. It's as old as Israel. Someone has always been trying to kill us. And they hunted us. This is your history. I know, right now, a lot of y'all feel as if it is a great thing when you cross 8 Mile in Detroit and hit Warren because of all the white folks over there. And you get so comfortable and you let your windows down and you lean a little bit better in your seat. You can feel more the groove because you left the ghetto and went to the white folks part of the state over in Warren, Michigan. That's what you do. Understand, them white folks was killing you in the 70s. It was killing you in the 80s. It was killing you in the 90s. Y'all know about the 90s. I just wanted to bring up the 70s and let you know that this was nothing new. It wasn't new in DC, it's not new in New York, and you see right here, Wikipedia said it's not new in Detroit. 1971 through 1974, about 40 months, 3.5 years, they had a particular police unit, we call them jump outs, that would jump out on you and would kill you. Niggas. Brothers in particular, stress. They call them stress. I remember during that time, mother and father particularly kept us indoors after a certain time. Why? Because they knew the police would kill us. They weren't worried about Joe Blow the wino. You're talking the 70s. You're talking the 70s. So a brother decide he ain't gonna put up with this noise while some social worker tell him he gotta get out of his woman's house. He can't be there with his kids no more. No problem. Call stress. The next thing you know, the next time he on his way over there, he get pulled over by some plain clothes police officers, and you see him in the doggone blotter report the next day. Suspect shot dead by the police. Suspect. How many brothers they say in 2.5 years? Just one little simple unit killed 24 men, and out of them 22 were African American, so-called African American. That's damn man. That's working on the pace of one a month. One a damn month. This is your history. So-called black man, so-called Hispanic man, so-called Native American man. This is your history. You've always been hunted by the oppressor. You've always been hunted. I mean, we've been hunted so much, how in the hell we fail for Martin King and his nonsense? I don't know. I really, really don't know. One day, little black boys, the son of the slave is going to sit down with the son of the slave at the table of brotherhood. Get the hell out of here. Next, explain that situation. Let's take a look at that. Let's break it down. Let's examine it. You got the son of the slave. Who's the son of the slave? He's the one that provides free labor. Room and board ain't worth nothing because it ain't nothing but a shack and some garbage that the white man was throwing out. That's what he get to eat and that's where he get to sleep. That's the slave, the son of the slave. Now the son of the slave owner, guess what? He lived a life of luxury. He ate the fat of the land. And he didn't have to do a goddamn thing to get his wealth because he had slaves that did all the labor for him. Is that right? That's right. See how this works? Now imagine this. You got 22 slaves. All you giving them is enough to eat and someplace to lay their head out the elements, right? But in exchange for that, what these slaves are giving you is their best ideas, their best labor, their best work. And as a result, you become a multi-millionaire, I dare say a billionaire. You become a billionaire. Now, all of a sudden, they want to take away your slaves. Which means you got to actually hire people to do what they were doing in order to make the same money, if you can, what the slaves were producing. And so what you got now is this big labor cost coming out of your revenue. You didn't have to take that out for the slaves. You took out that how much you spent on slop and what it cost to build some slave quarters. That was it. A few rags you call clothes. That was it. That was it. But now you got to pay somebody. How easily are you going to give up 25 slaves doing for free and pay 25 people to do what the slave did for free? You're not going to get that up. It doesn't make economic sense. And the white man hasn't given Salakia. The oppressor hasn't given it up here. They laugh when you come to them talking about minimum wage, minimum wage. You know why? Because they know it's still all slavery. They know it's all still slavery. When you rent your time out to an entity, you got to be there and do whatever they tell you for the next 8 to 10 to 12, 16 hours. You are a slave. At the very least, you are an indentured servant. Don't show up, and now you get fired and don't get money. You said, you're a slave. They force you to have to work for them just in order to survive. That's called slavery. But that's a small part of history that I wanted to bring out in this first hour. That's a small part of history that I wanted to bring out in this first hour so that you'll know that getting shot in the street is not a new phenomenon. Castile is not new. Trayvon Martin is not new. Hell, to a bunch of y'all, Malice Green, you don't even know who that is. And Rodney King, y'all think they're old as hell, but I'm trying to tell you, even they are not new. They're not new. Here's 22 brothers killed in Detroit just between 1971 and 1974. 22 black men killed by who? The police. And how many of those policemen received some type of negative consequence? I dare say none. None. I dare say none. They kill us with impunity. And before we go to a break, let me go pull this scripture. I want you to know, historically, the Bible is more accurate than you dare think. Of course, we're going to, our favorite scripture. What did I just do? Oh, I keep going to the wrong one. Here we go. Watch this. Deuteronomy 28, verse 25. You want to know why we get killed? Let's go up to Deuteronomy 28, verse 15 first. Let's go there first. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I have commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Because we refuse to obey the laws and statutes of the Most High, is why we're in the condition we are today. The Lord put up with our fathers and mothers a long time, until he finally said, they're no longer my people. But we're still his people, because he said the same people in the same place where he said they are not my people, he said he'll call us his people again. And that's when we come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Take a listen to this. You want to know? He said if you don't, here's one of the curses now, if you don't obey his laws, statutes, and commandments, which you don't today. We don't today. We so lost. We just finished celebrating. The vast majority of us just finished celebrating this Thanksgiving holiday. This is a holiday that destroyed 77 million of our people, of our men, women, and children. But we celebrated that, you see. But we celebrated that. Let's read the scripture. Deuteronomy 28 and 25. This is a curse. This is the curse. And when we disobey, the Lord said the curse is going to follow us. Let me see if you know about this one. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. That means beaten. To be smitten, to be killed before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Let me explain something. At every turn, as Israelites, whether we would call niggers or we would call Jews, we ain't had no problem trying to fight against our enemy. It didn't work out for us real good in 70 AD when we went up against Titus. And we got dispersed through the mountains of northeast Africa. We had to flee. Then we thought we were settled all in there, Timbuktu, you know. We thought we were settled in Africa and we got away from the curse, but no, what happened? The Arabs joined with the Africans, who joined with the Portuguese and the Spanish, and they leveled war against us and created the what? Transatlantic slave trade. And those of us who had not already migrated to this hemisphere was forced on slave cargo ships to come to this hemisphere. You remember that? They taught you that in school, right? Be careful. The victor writes the history. And so now they don't want to call it the transatlantic slave trade anymore. They want to call it a migration of sorts. Don't go for it. We did not migrate here under our own power and under our own will. We came here slaves because we came into the Lord's captivity. We were being brought into captivity because we continued to disobey Yahweh, our power. Okay. And the Lord shall smite thee, Salakia. Where was I at? 25. Let me back up. And the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Here's an example of that. Do you know before Martin King Before Martin King, there was a fellow by the name of Marcus Garvey who was fostering a Back to Africa movement. Hell, they even spent money, got the government involved at some point to carve out a little country called Liberia that they sent ex-slaves to. But even Marcus Garvey died penniless and broke after they put him in jail for a long time. And his movement was broke. You know about Martin King. He got all us jumped up and want to march on shit. And they killed him. And to this day, everybody knows that Farrakhan's Million Man March was a goddamn joke. Things immediately got worse after the old Million Man March. We go out against them one way. And when they had enough of us marching and protesting and all of that, guess what? They caused us to flee 7 ways. We have a protest in St. Louis to protest against that shit. And what happened? They killed 2 brothers in New York, killed some in Maryland. They'll kill, the very next day, they just start dropping niggas all over the United States. We go and see, and what that's telling us is that our best minds, since being in this captivity, is so stupid that we think marching gonna get it done. Stupid! Martin King told you to take your babies. Watch this, when they couldn't get it done with the grown folk, they put babies out there. Why did they want to put babies out there? To appease to this cruel oppressor's better instinct. Oh, he ain't gonna hurt the babies. He turned them dogs loose on the babies just like he turned them loose on the dogs. And what did you expect? What did you expect? This the same bastard that took the babies, and some of us who are old enough, we might have even went through this when we were tiny and don't even remember. But they would take the babies from black folks, tie a rope to them and sit them out in the marsh and use them for alligator bait. There was a whole industry of advertising material, what they call premiums, pencils, erasers, snuff cans, all types of things that had little black babies, showed little black babies being used for alligator bait. And you dare think you deal with a civilized oppressor. You lost your goddamn mind. That's what you've done. All these jakes out here. All these jakes out here. You trust in the white man. You trust in this oppressor. And you have no reason to trust him. Watch it. This is what the Bible tells you about that nonsense. Let me pull that up real quick. Take these glasses off so I can see a little bit better. Try this one more time. I'm pretty sure it should come out this thing. It doesn't. So let me paraphrase. We should never, ever trust our enemy. The Bible teaches us never, ever to trust our enemy. I don't know why this is not picking this up, but we're gonna keep it moving. We have no business. You do know that this is our enemy. Let's get back over to Deuteronomy. Let me go here. There we go. Deuteronomy 28. Now watch this. Back up a little bit. So I'm going to show you where you are. Here you go, black man, black woman. Deuteronomy 28:32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fall and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall no might be in thy hand. I think back over the number of black children that have been raised in foster homes. Just in Detroit. Just in Detroit. Mothers, fathers had children. I'm talking about same time stressors out back in the 70s. I'm telling you what I saw. And girls mainly just raised in these foster homes. The woman or the man, the woman and the man, however they were set up, these were not their biological children, and they let the children into their home to make money. You know that can't be good. It can't be good. During the same time, in Detroit, 71, 72, 73, 74, they had this unit that's killing up men on the street. They also had a big thing going on with foster homes. The same social workers pushed that shit. Pushed it. Taking the child away from the mother and the father. Well, they got away from the father and they kicked him out. And then when the mother didn't comply with all the rules, they'd take the children away from her and put them in a foster home and give that money to somebody else. And at this point, they've done their job. They don't really care about the children. As long as they're in the foster home, that's all they care. They don't care that most all of them children reported being sexually abused in the foster care system. And you wonder why all these sisters out here so angry. All these brothers out here so effeminate. Foster care. And this new generation, who you trying to wonder why they crazy as hell, it's their mamas and their daddies that came out of foster care. And so what skills did they have? They didn't have anything in the truth. They couldn't teach them nothing about the truth. Foster care. Nothing is new under the sun. It shall kill all the firstborns, all the boy babies that was of such an age down in Egypt. And what they told them, kill them. Then they told them the same thing in Jerusalem. Go through and kill all the babies of this age. Kill them. Trying to find Yahweh. First one was trying to find Moses. I don't know why they're killing us now, special, but maybe they're looking for another deliverer. I don't know, but they just kill us with impunity, and they're killing our children too. They're killing our children too. They don't give a damn. We're going to take a break for a second, and we're going to get it from there. That's right. There we go. keep the music going for you, Israel.
Check it out. Remember summertime, the baby was misery. Ain't seen never work, no crack, I feel the breeze. Guess that ain't shit too, so go you see. They'd rather be up on the mama, I wrote a week. I'd rather put the love on my brothers over the week. I'd rather be so long on the back with my enemies. Now hold on and get that pushing and fucking keys. They say that they have love that they can't, but it'll please. We don't want that kind of love, I'm gonna keep it deep. I'm off and I hold on straight like it's the free. We just want to show you how we'll get victory. I'm with you, we get so angry, you see in the beat. We battle on the corners, the corners get for the seat. Slides with the nipples, flipping the different scenes. Bad mom, home, West, love you, let's breathe. That's person from the children, who's over the let's be. They say he had to go, he ain't clean. But really he didn't, us niggas like all of me. He need, now he broke, he's smoking on niggas' team. Copping down from my bitch, I got another thing. Since I live with you, nigga, like I'm living in a dream. Pulling up in the night, as long as the limousine. Hopping out the school, you think that we don't race. But we the over years, we calling on magazines. All my brothers keep them over the regime. And we gon' bring the apple, I love that he's so pretty, fucking straight up.
Yeah, boy, I love the truth, my nigga, you silly, yo. Just to get talk about nigga who really know. To Isupk, you online. Please know, we should take them all down. See what he really know. You should boost, lace them up, let's follow the generals. Always speaking truth, no speaking subliminal shit. Kind of fine, money, the letters and syllables. Cause the Isupk became the fucking original shit. All my niggas came to used to be criminals. In the land of the beast, the home of the Seminoles. Don't cross the fucking line, cause they ain't critical. My head is mine, nigga, it's down to your physical shit. I shouldn't have to say, but something you should know. Like the way is the devil and Christ is a need, yo. And he died for the blacks, Hispanics, and sheep show. Something everyone you can preach to ever see show. If you wanna know the truth, you know where to come find it. You big K, you niggas gon' pay homage. Big Brody, space, gold, and complete diamonds. On a bomb mission to free my people from bondage. The new sort of rules you shall all have to abide by. The non-literal shall be terminated.
Yeah.
West till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy, it get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends or we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he a domino. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical, guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since all the dominance of one west rising to prominence. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got Groupons for Uber. Rhymes hard like they been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by in black Impalas, let the semi holler. The showstopper been as proper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm growing them off Patron, a premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modified the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's worth the mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when the heat's on, none of them can get to the fire. Around with me, and I had a nigga spin like a tire. But down the D, and I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spool lighter. Fuel to igniter, I'm winning, coming through with the title because U.P. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west outside, you in the crib, but the boy outside. I get it on outside, from the dust to the dawn outside. So in the morning outside, I'm catching wreck when they drawing outside. Cause it's a war outside, my sword's drawn outside. It's Excalibur.
Yeah. We're back. A little break right there. And this is the history class, Monday night history class, Isupk. And what we're trying to do is get you to see that none of this is by accident. This is not just happenstance. What's going on with you, so-called black man, black woman? This is, it's all in the Bible. That's the craziest thing about it. I remember grandma and baby going to church. Yeah, grandma made us go to church, and mama made us go to church. What they didn't do is make us read this Bible and learn what it's saying really. Why? Because they got it from the oppressor. And our parents, you got to get this, our parents understand the Bible to be a book that says, because we are black, we deserve all this hell that we're going through under these people, because the Most High made them to be over us. And therefore, when Jesus come back, he'll make everything even and everybody gonna love everybody. Well, that's not in the damn Bible. That's not in it. It's no place in there. I don't care where you look at it. It's nothing like that. Nothing like that. What is in the Bible? Let's look at a few more historic points, because, like I said, we're gonna be all over the place tonight. We're gonna be all over the place tonight, simply because we want to establish how important this Bible is. Is this right? Let me see if I got the right verse. Right. Right now, the Christian church taught you that you too can be saved. That you're cursed because you're a Hamite. And because you know you're a Hamite because you got black skin. That's what they told you. And that the white folks are the Jews and those are the blessed people of God. This is what the Christian church has taught you. And those are the blessed people of God and all of that. And you now can be saved since white Jesus died on the cross. Now you too can be saved just like a white person. You can go to that big place in the sky called heaven and be saved. That's your saved. In fact, they got you believing that so much that you won't fight back, and you rather sit back what? As long as I'm not being oppressed too badly, then I'm going to just sit back and deal with it and just handle it. Just let it be. And then I'm going to die, and once I die, Lord, He's going to make it better. That is the sickest shit I ever heard. That is a bunch of garbage. Good night. That is a bunch of garbage. That's what the Christian church teach, is garbage. Garbage. And if you get the chance to share this, share it. And I dare you to share with all the Christian pastors you know, every last one of them. Every last one of them. The Ellises, the Winans, the Flakes, everybody. Who's that brother down the street from here? I think I remember his daddy back in the day when my people were trying to get me to be a preacher. I'm gonna go down and see the sign on his church. But I mean, he looked just like his daddy, so I think I remember them. All these fellas, all these Christian churches, they leading you into a lie. And the women, man, here's why Christianity works so well. You want the benefits of disobedience. You want the benefit. What you don't understand. Look. Let's take a look at a disobedient. The law says that it is unlawful for a man to lay down with a man as if laying down with a woman. Is that right? That's right. That's what the Bible says. Homosexuality is a sin. It's not right. The Most High hates it. It's an abomination. The Most High hates it. Now, let's take a look at homosexuality. Now they got drugs out that once you catch AIDS, you start taking these drugs, and these drugs will take you back to the point of where you cannot, the instruments can't detect AIDS in your system. So, what's the logic behind this? The Most High give us a law. Men don't sleep with men, women don't sleep with men. Women don't have sex with women, men don't have sex with men. That's against the law, it's an abomination, it's nasty. And so what? The white man does it anyway, right? Everything cool and everything, and they all right, and ain't nothing seem real weird. And then they start what? Getting more and more Israelites to do it. And what the hell pop up all of a sudden when the Israelites get into homosexuality? AIDS, HIV. AIDS and HIV. Now watch this. You would think, here comes this thing. You know why it's happening. Because you put rod in a butt. These high instances of herpes among the sisters. Why? Because sisters are laying down with sisters to have sex, unlawful sex. Now watch this. Everybody know that this thing that causes this particular illness or sickness is against the Most High, right? The white folks know it, the black folks know it, the green folks know it, everybody know it. Everybody know it. And when this verdict comes down and it's applied, it's called AIDS, it's called HIV, what happens? Do your Christian preachers get on TV and say, stop being homosexual? If you want this to go away, just simply stop being homosexual. And I'm talking about your black Christian preachers, so-called black men, black women. Have you told anybody to stop being homosexual? No. What you do is you give money to research that what? Alleviates the consequences of sin. In other words, let's put more research in and cure HIV and cure AIDS. And where they come from? Oh, unlawful sex. So instead of stop having unlawful sex, America decides, what? One, to legalize unlawful sex. That's what your first African American, he's truly an African American, Obama. His mama was a Kansan, she's from Kansas, and his daddy from Ghana, some goddamn well. African and a goddamn American. There you go. That's Obama. And what did he give the Israelite community? Legalize homosexuality. And in Michigan, legalize marijuana, use of smoking marijuana. That's all he gave us. You see, that's all he really gave us. He let you be gay. And look what the Most High said to that gay shit. The Most High's answer to being gay is AIDS. The Most High's answer to being gay is HIV. And so whether we instead of saying Salakia Adawan, instead of repenting, what do? We come up with ways to cure AIDS. So that what? Men can keep screwing men in the butt, and women can keep strapping on plastic dildos. And then we got the damn nerve to ask the Lord why he don't hear our voice, why he don't hear our prayer. Well, there's a reason. In the beginning, the Most High was trying to tell us who we were. We run around here now trying to be like white folks, and all we're doing is dying like that. We're dying like that. Nah. There's some brothers that was in this truth and left. Them brothers. Ooh. But look at here. Why are you running around here trying to be like white? Why are you running around here trying to be so-called as good as white folks? Listen what the Most High say about you. Before you even ran into white folks, he was telling you this about you. This is Deuteronomy 7, starting at verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, unto Yahweh thy power. You are a set aside people. You are a separate people. Now watch this. Because you're so into your goddamn emotions, you can't even hear the scriptures. He said you are a holy people. We know distinctly that means to be set apart, to be made separate. Right? We know that's holy. But the Christian church, when you say thou art a holy people, now we got some voodoo and hoodoo and you're supposed to feel a certain kind of way and all that. These people had lost their goddamn mind. Okay? Holy simply means you're separate, set aside, set apart, not to be part of everybody else. And as a separate people, you ought not live the way everybody else live. And you holy unto the Lord thy God, but you only live the way the Most High wants to live. We're going to keep reading. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. Now watch this. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. You chasing, you trying to be like white. And you become what? Magic Johnson with AIDS. And then what the white folks do, since he's such a basketball player and so humble of a person, imagine one of them first people that got them good drugs. To do away with it. Why? So we can keep having unlawful sex. It's all over America. It's all, where there's more money, there's more unlawful sex. Because, when folk got money and don't have to ask you for nothing, they don't give a damn what you think. They don't give a damn about what you think. And so they do what they want to. They do what the hell they want to. You see. And they don't care. And they thumb their nose at God. And that's what, at the Most High, and that's what's going on right now. But, and that's, historically, the Most High, every time we did that, he got with us. And he's getting with us now. So this is nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. Way back 3,500 years ago, the Most High said, you are separate people, holy unto the Lord thy God. So lucky. And the Most High chose us to be special to himself above all the people on the face of the earth. He gave us his law, statutes, and commandments. Nobody's supposed to be over us, but everybody's over us now. Why? Because we disobeyed the Most High. The thing that is the thing that was, the thing that is was is the thing that shall be. You see, there was a king. I want to say his name was Josiah, young boy. Where this word, our word, was hidden from our people. And somehow, one of the scribes went in there and they found it, they cleaned up the temple, they found it, they read it. They came back and read it to the king. He rent his clothes and said, my people, ooh-wee. He could recognize on the first time ever hearing this word read to him that the people was fucked up, that we were out there. And he straightened it out for a time. And that's why these prophets get on the street corners now. Every Saturday, they get out here and prophesy to the wind, because we know that our people are lost. Our people are lost. And that's what these classes are about. The history class tonight, all we want to let you know is that there is some history behind what's been going on. Everything you see, none of it's new. None of them knew. You think the Howard Shah was the only nigga they crucified? The white folks crucified over there? No. They got rolls of Hebrews, where Hebrews lined the road on stakes. Jews up on crosses, lining the road to Rome. Just because Rome could. It's called captivity. And I want to give you this. I'm going to leave you with this. I don't care how much you try to be like white. I don't care what university you go to. I really don't give a damn about how much money the white folks bring you. If you are a so-called African American, a so-called Native Indian, a so-called Hispanic American, you are of the house of Jacob or the house of Israel. You are an Israelite. And whether you agree to it or not, whether you accept it or not, you are obligated to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And if you continue to refuse to do that, the Most High is going to deal with you. That's just the bottom line. You think this is something new? Police choking out brothers just because they want to sell Lucy cigarettes. Police slamming old women, old black women to the ground. Neighborhood watch commanders feel it's free to kill teenagers and brags about it and sell memorabilia of himself killing the goddamn teenager. If you want all that kind of shit to stop, if you really, really want it to stop, if you're tired of being the last hired in the first fire, if you are just tired of being a borrower and never a lender, if you are tired of being persecuted in the city and in the field, if you're tired of all that, then I urge you, come into this truth. Look up ISUPK, whatever your city is. ISUPK Chicago, ISUPK Minnesota, ISUPK Harlem, ISUPK Philly, ISUPK St. Louis, ISUPK Dallas, Houston, ISUPK in whatever city you want in America, and you too can get into this truth. A brother will call you and start introducing you to yourself, to your people, to your culture, to your God. You see, we don't serve that imposter. We don't serve Esau. We're not trying to give him anything. He got his blessing, but we got our promise. If you just come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, then your house will come back. He's on his way back. But as long as you keeping 1 3/4 feet out there into America and doing all the abominable things America does, you delaying the return of our Messiah. You delaying the return of our King. Because when enough of us have been sealed, it's over. It's over. It's just going to be stuck out there. And so with that, I'm going to say Shalom, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shabbat, to my brothers, to my brothers, Salakia, and Shalom, Yahweh Shemalatah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, to my sisters. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started out at 1 West 125th Street, 1969, and we ruled under Commanding General Yohana. We've been bringing forth the truth in the earth since 1969, prophesying to the wind, telling all who will listen and even those who won't. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the lost children of Israel. And the Most High wants you to return to His laws, His statutes, and His commandments. Shalom.